around the same time, had the opportunity to teach some undergraduate courses in statistics, which were required of all psych undergraduate majors, and really started to enjoy the idea of having to understand a topic so well to be able to communicate it to learners inside and out. So you kind of had to know it, not only from the sort of, expert's perspective, but also from the novice's perspective, and that you had to know what their questions would be so that you could kind of be able to explain it in ways that would resonate with students. I enjoyed being in the classroom, and around the same time started to develop some research interests as well. And so that was kind of what set me off onto the path of wanting to pursue a career in academia versus consulting. I've since picked up, consulting now, given my research interests. But I feel, each of these sort of, I guess, forks in the road, I look back as sort of really, experiences that shaped what I think about and what I value and what I think is important in terms of what I try to do in terms of shaping experiences for students. And so it's nice to have the chance to kind of take a pause and go back down memory lane a little bit, because at least it's kind of an important reminder to ground yourself back in some of that, especially with, lots of other things kind of floating around that kind of, create a lot of noise. A lot of this is about, why we're doing what we're doing. So,
yeah, it's funny how in retrospect, things do make sense, like why they happened in a certain way. It may not make sense at the time, but I definitely look back at my career and have done some odd things. But when I look back, I'm like, oh, that does kind of make sense and set me off on the trajectory or got me to where I'm at today.
Yeah. The other thing that happened when I was an undergrad that I think really helped shape how I think about the world and also think about academia is the university, like most universities, has a board of trustees. And at Ohio State, they have one undergraduate student representative on the board and one graduate student, and you serve for a 2-year period.
Oh, wow.
And you apply, and you're appointed by the governor. And I applied and was the undergraduate student representative on the board my junior and senior year in college. So I was, absent ability to vote, I was present for all of the board activities and meetings and got the same briefing materials that everyone else did. And so that experience also opened my eyes tremendously to what it takes to run a huge institution like Ohio State. So I was seeing and reading financial statements. I was hearing about strategic plans. I was, hearing about curriculum and student services and, all the things that, a 20-year-old is probably not going to hear about.
Yeah.
So it also really shaped the way that I sort of thought about and appreciated the operations of running a business, the business of running a university. And so that exposure to business along the same time as I was sort of being shaped by the classes I was taking, that was also a really important experience for me as well.
See, being in the band and being studious pays off. So